That was the Motor Speedway flat tire. Oh my goodness! Y'all see this?
I'm currently recording this while the NBA All-Star Game is still live, and the reason why I wanted to immediately hop on a video was because I'm seeing SoFi's branding absolutely everywhere, and in this video I'm going to be sharing some specific examples of exactly what I'm talking about and why I think this could be the biggest brand initiative for SoFi all year long, and yes, I do know it is still February. First things first, let's cover the basics. Throughout the past couple of days, SoFi has been partnering with multiple influencers to hype up this event. They've been building anticipation through Instagram, through TikTok. I've been posting a little bit about it through Twitter. The first thing to note is that there's a lot of marketing materials and props that are being handed out all throughout this event. And all of these materials are co-branded with the NBA logo as well. And just seeing how well prepared and well organized this entire event is, it makes me believe that SoFi and the NBA have had a deal finalized for quite a while before they even announced it in the first place. This has probably been in the works for months now because of how much effort it actually takes to create all of these marketing materials. They can't just whip those things up in 2 days, right? They need advance notice, advance preparation, especially for the VIP holders of that All-Star event, which all got branded packages. So from a branding perspective, this partnership could have been in the works for months ahead of the actual announcement and ahead of this All-Star event debut. That's number one. Number two that I wanted to draw attention to is Anthony Noto's absolutely crucial Yahoo Finance interview earlier this week, where he basically gave us the entire marketing playbook. I talked about this briefly on the SoFi Weekly podcast, but I wanted to play a snippet from exactly what I'm talking about here.
Anthony, lastly, what does it mean for companies like you that want to have a presence in all things sports? What does it do to the value of those deals, and how can it be easily afforded?
The value of those deals only go up. When we did the NFL stadium rights deal with Stan Kroenke and the Los Angeles Rams, as well as the Chargers, we looked at primetime television. Most people don't understand. We did that deal for television, for reaching large, unduplicated audiences. I had a thesis that we would get 4 to 6 primetime games at SoFi Stadium. And at 20 to 25 million unique viewers times 4 to 6, we would get a larger reach and an ability to hit an audience at a lower cost than we were paying for television. And what we do when games are at SoFi Stadium on a Monday night is we run ads during the game. So they're not only are they aware of the brand, but they actually understand what the brand stands for. And guess what we do the next Monday night? We run the ads again because the same audience comes back the next week, even though the teams are different. And so it's easier to reach people 10 to 15 times in a season by partnering with the NFL. The NBA, same story. They have even higher frequency with multiple nights of primetime television throughout the year. And so our partnership with the NBA is about being there with them, a credible brand, about reaching their large, unduplicated audience. They have 200 million fans behind the NBA, and it's another way for us to continue to reach audiences that we need to penetrate and that we need to build trust and reliability with as a household brand name.
So in this snippet, Anthony Noto mentions their strategy is to show off the logo, and at the same time as they're doing that, to run ads during the games to educate potential users on SoFi's brand values so as to make a stickier lead altogether. And this is exactly what they've been doing in the NBA All-Star Game. SoFi has been running ads throughout the game, and I suspect this is going to be the case throughout the entire NBA season. SoFi shows their logo, SoFi runs the ads at halftime.
This isn't a story about basketball. This is a story about money. I've always been driven to get my money right. As a kid, I watched my mom struggle financially, but she always made what we had work. Her sacrifice allowed me to pursue my dreams, to create generational wealth. For her, for my son, and while everyone's path is different, our desire for financial freedom is the same. I'm partnering with SoFi because I believe they're what banking should be. They care about making your money work for your ambitions, just like my mom did for me. Recognize a generational player. Join the official bank of the NBA. SoFi, get your money right.
And every time that logo is shown, it is accompanied by an ad for SoFi. to educate users on their brand. This is a winning strategy. This is proven with the NFL that has led to all of the new potential users that came from SoFi Stadium. And this is something easily repeatable in the NBA as well. That's the second thing I want to mention. The third thing I want to mention is the logo is already visible throughout the NBA All-Star Game. And this is something that will be visible throughout all of these games going forward, which is massive exposure for the SoFi brand. I'll explain why. In the SoFi Weekly podcast, we highlighted how this is different from marketing campaigns that were done 10 or 20 years ago because of the virality of social media and the implication that that has towards impressions. This is crucial. I demonstrated this concept on the podcast on Friday, showing off the example of the Super Bowl, which reached billions of impressions, billions of video views off a single event, off a single social media platform. Now imagine how that is amplified throughout every single game in the NBA, throughout all the platforms out there. It's not just about the primetime games, it's not just about the ESPN highlights, it's about the virality that it creates going forward. SoFi's marketing team is no stranger to this virality. We've seen the SoFi Money Moves campaign, we've seen the Women in Finance campaign, and now we have these NBA giveaways associated with this official Bank of the NBA announcement. SoFi knows how to gain and foster viewership, and more importantly, how to gain engagement from those viewers. And so that's the third thing I'll mention, is the virality through social media, which goes above and beyond what Anthony Noto is hoping for in terms of several primetime games from a cable perspective, from a viewership perspective, and amplifies that brand so much more, orders of magnitude, I would argue, through social media. Fourth point I want to mention is the evergreen aspect of this content. The content is something that many fans will return to years in the future. Imagine the compilations of Michael Jordan, of Kobe Bryant, of LeBron James, their best moments compiled together. And now look forward. Imagine the rookie years of players that haven't even entered the league yet, that will enter the league in the next coming years. All of these highlight plays are going to have SoFi's logo all over them, and all of this is evergreen content. And really, this concept stuck home for me when I saw this clip earlier tonight of Dame Lillard shooting a half-court shot. Take a look.
Flat tires. That was the Motor Speedway flat tire. Oh my God! Y'all see this?
So did you notice something there that was special? SoFi's logo was right in the shot of that highlight play. So while the NBA, is much smaller from an actual viewership perspective than the NFL, my argument that I'm making here is that the sport itself, by being faster paced, has more highlight plays, and by having more highlight plays can amplify SoFi's brand so much further and potentially in excess of what they're already getting at SoFi Stadium. And I think this has the potential catalyst to driving more members onto the platform, and for SoFi to reach my end target of 1 million members a quarter by the end of 2024 and 10 million members overall by the end of the year. These are bold targets that I made earlier this year, and just by looking at the magnitude of this NBA event, I honestly think that SoFi can hit these targets. And look, the last thing I'll say anecdotally is it seems as though the excitement is electric. Everywhere I look, I'm seeing SoFi's brand being mentioned through these partnerships with influencers. And I mean, yes, you could argue that my own Twitter account might be an echo chamber, but I truly believe that this partnership and just the brand value that the NBA has in general to average viewers has the potential to be massive, has the potential to be bigger than what we thought initially. And I didn't really truly appreciate it until I saw with my own eyes the impact of this All-Star game and the impact of SoFi's logo being in all of these clips and all of these plays and in all of these highlights. I think we're in for a truly great year for SoFi, and I'm really looking forward to reporting on the company. It seems as though we're just on the brink of that prime time of going into the mainstream. We've been building behind the scenes for so many years, but from a company perspective, everything seems to be clicking on all cylinders, and from a brand and marketing and awareness perspective, it seems to be the case as well. That brand awareness is going to increase far beyond 8%, and it's going to go into the double digits this year, and I think it can go much further than that on the back of the NFL, on the back of the NBA, on the back of the TGL, on the back of future sports that they choose to expand into, and all powered by this strategy that Anthony Noto laid out line by line, play by play. You show the logo, you run the ad. You show the logo, you run the ad, and you do that repetitively so that people can associate that logo with your brand values and your brand message. And I think that's a very powerful message, especially considering that SoFi is looking for young people to have as long-term customers to essentially be partners with them on their financial journey. I'm really excited about it. For right now, this is the Fundamentals Investing Podcast. Thank you so much for listening.